even though it is not at all an offense, and therefore he is perfectly well within his rights, so to say, to pick up the goods. So far, so good. But if he picks them up, firstly, he cannot use them to his benefit unless the conditions mentioned in section 403 are satisfied, which means unless he has made all reasonable efforts to find out the owner and return the goods to the true owner. Till that time, he cannot use those goods. Apart from the fact that he cannot use the goods, there is a responsibility cast on him because of the Contract Act. And what is that responsibility? The responsibility is as a bailee. Now, why this responsibility? There was no contract between the owner of the goods and the person who finds them. Since there was no contract between them, he cannot be bound by any responsibility as such. However, by the force of law, because of section 71, it is treated as a quasi-contract between the owner of the goods and the person who takes them into his custody, and because of that, a responsibility is cast upon the finder. What is the responsibility? That of a bailee. And what is the responsibility of a bailee? Responsibility of a bailee is given in some other section of the Contract Act, and this is what that responsibility is. Care to be taken by a bailee. Bailee is bound to take as much care of the goods bailed to him as a man of ordinary prudence would take of his own goods of the same quantity and value as the goods bailed under similar circumstances. This is the responsibility of the bailee, and this responsibility comes when certain goods are consigned by the owner to another person. But that happens under an agreement. What is the agreement? Agreement of bailment. We will come across this agreement in subsequent sections. So there is an agreement of bailment whereby the owner sends his goods and surrenders the goods to the custody of another person who is a bailee. The owner is bailer, and the person to whose custody the goods are surrendered or delivered is known as the bailee. And because of this agreement, the bailee has certain responsibility which is given like this. But in our section 71, there was no agreement between the owner of the goods and the person who takes them in his custody. Despite lack of agreement, the same responsibility is cast upon the person who takes the custody,